It's another day.
Yeah, it's another day, but it's a special one, man.
It does feel like it's been a good day. It's been a very good 48 hours.
Yeah, best pay-per-view of the year just happened,
Easily.
and both our teams won.
We got undefeated football teams. Uh
Just need to end the season today, and we all have winning records. We're good.
Look, in my mind, season's over.
Oh Jesus!
Saints already won the Super Bowl. It's over.
Oh no! Oh, it's gonna start.
But we are here to talk about All Out, and we are here to talk about that great pay-per-view on this episode of Off the Top Rope.
Ooh, that sounds good, man.
Before we get into it, you know what we got to do. First off, if you're not following us on Twitter, make sure you do. TAGPW podcast. Prophet was doing some posting on there last night. You could follow along with the pay-per-view. He did some good posts. If you're not following that Twitter, make sure you're following.
Yeah, and if you guys like the content that you are hearing right now, and after you get to the end of the video, of course, for sure, give us some comments. Hit that like button, subscribe. They all help us out. And all of this will also, along with the Twitter page and the main page, if you like all of our videos and want to watch more, they will also be in the description too.
Mm.
Here we go.
With that said, we gotta talk about this pay-per-view.
Yeah, man. This is easily, and I know I said it with All In, but I don't know, man. This like if All In was at that time a 10, it's like a 9.5 or a 9. This is like 12. This is 13. I don't know how else to put it, but this pay-per-view was amazing.
I personally think that this is potentially a top 5 pay-per-view for AEW all time.
Oh, I think so easily.
Yeah, I can't think of that many pay-per-views that right away were better than All Out.
No, not top to bottom, bell to bell. Nah, none of them. Not even close.
We also had a lot of death on this episode. A lot of crime.
Um, yeah, it's okay. It's in a wrestling ring. We're fine.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, we will start with the first death that we will be talking about. But first, actually, no, we should actually talk about the match first before we talk about the death, right? Uh, for the AEW World Championship, we got Jack Perry versus champion Bryan Danielson in his first defense.
Man, what can I say other than this match was? And you're gonna hear me say this on damn near every match on this card. This match was fantastic, just from the start to the finish. Um, both guys like went in there and they were on a mission. And once we talk about all the other matches, you probably find out why.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything just escalated every match. Like they had to match the energy of everything else, all the other matches previous to this point. But man, Jack Perry. Another thing, Jack Perry showed he belongs in that main event picture
Yes,
where he's
sir.
at.
Yes, sir.
You know, he he did fantastic. He was in there hanging with Danielson, which is no small feat. And oh man, like just to go, through the match like really quick, like him and Danielson pretty much had a war.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way to put it. But man, there was like some points in that in in the match. Like when it was really escalating, there was one part where Danielson did the knee so hard that Jack Perry like almost flew out the ring.
It was so
I,
wild.
I was like, holy shit! He hit him so hard he damn near flew out the ring. And there was one point they were exchanging like submission holds. Jack Perry stole a few of Bryan Danielson's holds. He did the cattle mutilation to him, and also at points like he did that thing where they would slow it down a little bit, and then the crowd would start, booing and getting into it and stuff like that. And then he would take a little extra time to let the crowd get even more into it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that shit, yeah, like it's one of the master classes of the night.
The match was like perfectly sequenced. Like you said, Jack Perry showed why he was in this spot. Like he showed why he needed to be here. I mean, JR is calling this like a double main event. I guess we can if we want to. I don't think we have to. This was just a really good defense. Plus, this was Danielson's first defense. This was perfect. It was fantastic. We got to see Danielson fight. We got to see him be on the under a little bit, getting beat up by Jack Perry. Then we also got to see bully Danielson. We got to see why Bryan Danielson is one of the greatest of all time. And he had a magnificent partner in Jack Perry in there with him. The match was just fantastic.
Yeah, like, not to go through like all the moves and all that stuff that happened in the match. I implore you guys to either watch the highlights or just like watch the match. But man, yeah, like from start to finish, they built up the match. Started out, I won't say it started out slow, but it just started at a certain pace and then it just ramped up all the way till the end.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it was so damn good. And there's, even one point. Of course, the ref gets knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Bucks were doing everything they could to try to help Jack Perry win, and then they got chased off by the BCC. Ooh, we'll talk about in a minute.
Oh, trust me, we're about to get to them soon.
They got chased off by the BCC. Jack Perry was a little distracted, and that was enough time to get Danielson for Danielson to pretty much punish Jack Perry and win.
Mm-hmm.
And the main part of this happened after the match. This is where the craziness happened.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, resident asshole Christian Cage was ready to cash in. Because like right before that, like Luchasaurus came out, beat up Danielson a little bit, and him and Jack Perry had a stare off, almost like they're planting the seeds of like Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. At some point, they're either gonna fight each other or they're gonna team up again.
Mm-hmm.
They're planting that seed, and so Christian Cage is coming to the ring, and right before he comes to the ring, Jon Moxley is standing there in his way. And they're like, well, shit, it's like 3 versus 1. And then the rest of the BCC showed up. And Christian Cage was like, yeah, no, I don't want any of that, and ran away. They all backed off.
As he should.
Yeah, no. You don't want that Mox. You don't want to be fighting that Moxley. No. So, right after that, they all go to the ring. Moxley and Danielson embrace for a second. And all of a sudden, Claudio European uppercuts Danielson. And right behind Danielson, Mox is holding a plastic bag. And he puts the plastic bag over Danielson's head and is suffocating him. And while that's happening, Pac is holding back Wheeler Yuta because Yuta is trying to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Maria Shafir is like, killing anybody that tries to get into the ring. While Bryan Danielson is, getting suffocated.
Getting murdered in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, like, it was like, hot damn, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, man, that shit shook me for a second. I was like, what? But, yeah, man. Eventually, after he damn near killed Bryan Danielson, they all went out, and and we're seeing the seeds planted for Danielson Moxley, or Danielson getting his revenge and taking out the BCC. Start seeing the seeds being planted for that. And Moxley and this new BCC are probably, what I'm thinking is going to happen, they're not going to be called the Blackpool Combat Club anymore because it doesn't make sense. They're going to be called something different. So
yeah, more than likely.
Interested to see what this new faction is going to be. It's literally BCC turning heel. Well, they were already heels in my eyes, but yeah, it's them turning heel and just going to start running roughshod on everybody again.
I mean, that's how it was before, right? Like, they were heels last year when they were wrestling the Elite. Like, it's a whole flip now. This when Moxley came out to start, because he was standing there first before anyone else got there to stop Christian Cage, I was like, oh, Moxley's here. BCC, we were just talking about this. It seems like they weren't really running together anymore, right?
Yeah.
We get in there, they get the embrace, they all hold each other up, and I was sitting in my house, I was like, oh, we're good. We don't have to worry about anything. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Then Claudio did what he did. And man, the look on Danielson's face, like, he looked shocked. Like, he was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, he couldn't react. Like, he was flabbergasted, basically.
Yeah.
And just how this all went. Wheeler Yuta also was just fucking phenomenal here. Like, he looked like he was trying to fight for his dad dying in front of him, bro. It was crazy. And Pac was just holding him back. Pac didn't look like he was saying a word. Marina Shafir was doing her thing. Everyone was standing around while Moxley was literally murdering Danielson in the middle of the ring. Just all-timer. And we got a lot of things to unpack from this part. Not even just Danielson and Mox. Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and Pac are the trios champions right now. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to be seeing eye to eye after this.
No, not at all.
Because after once Pac and all of them left, Wheeler left with Danielson.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, they're either gonna beat up with Yuta and kick him out, or he's gonna be abused and stuck there until they lose the trios titles or something, and like the conclusion happens.
They got to do something, right? Like something has to be figured out here, because like we said, there's the whole stress and everything with Danielson, but we got to see where Yuta's gonna be at here.
Yeah, man. Like, is Yuta gonna just go with it? I doubt it, right? And how are they gonna defend those trios titles now?
Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna do the what is it, the Freebird rule, and then kick Yuta out and then give somebody else the title? I mean, I can see that happening.
I mean, that's what Bullet Club Gold did, right? When Jay White got hurt, Juice hopped in. But
yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be Mox. I don't think they're gonna put the trios title on Mox.
No, I feel like there's gonna be a different member. Like, Yuta's getting kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be somebody different. And who? I have no idea.
And then on top of all this, we still have a Christian Cage, which, if it wasn't confirmed already, it's now fully confirmed that contract, he can literally do it whenever he wants to do it. So now that's in the background of all this. So while Danielson's dealing with whatever the new BCC is going to be, he also has to watch out for Christian.
Mm-hmm. Because Christian's ready. He's lurking, man. He's like, oh, Danielson's half dead? All right, I'm out. Let's go. Let's bring the troops.
Kill switch, go out there. Go knock him out. I'm going to come out after. Go. Hurry up. Just incredible. This easily could have been the main event if we didn't get what happened after this. But just incredible match, incredible segment. That was literally a show closing segment.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I was gonna say, and like, it was felt from this match to the next match because, oh man, like people were like, I'm sitting here shocked. I know the people in the inside, the inside the arena were like, they were all messed up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And right after that was this war that happened. Oh man.
Man, let's go ahead and get into it. You know we got to.
Yeah, no. These go hand in hand. They go together. Go for it, man.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I was gonna lead you in the main event was Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland in a steel cage match. Lights out steel cage.
Yeah. It was lights out for sure.
God, was it?
These guys, man, let me tell you, this is like an all-timer feud. And it's for me, I've been watching wrestling in a while. This is up there as like one of the greatest feuds.
Mm-hmm.
Those two guys, like, their chemistry, what they do, how they, feed off of each other is right now in pro wrestling, it's unparalleled. I can't find a feud in the past like 10 years that's equal to this. Just straight up.
No, not for sure not as violent and as like feeling provoking as this has been. It's only been a year of this.
Right. And in that year though, you see the rise of one person, like, and the fall and descent into madness of the other one.
Mm-hmm. And it was on full display in this match.
Yeah, full display in this match. Like the match didn't even start yet. They started lowering the cage, and as the cage was lowering, Prince Nana was throwing shit in the ring. He was hitting the table. He got all kinds of stuff and threw that in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And then while that was happening, Swerve immediately rushed Hangman. Second Hangman took his jacket off, he rushed him and then started beating the shit out of him. He threw him out the ring, beat him up outside the ring, threw him back in. And at this point, we have what is it called? Like what's it called in the court case? Like Exhibit A.
Oh yeah.
Swerve was holding Hangman's head close to outside the ring where the cage was dropping. And as the cage was dropping, he like literally just trying to hold his head there so he could get murdered by the cage.
Mm-hmm.
In Exhibit B, Hangman reversed and was beating up Swerve, and he was holding his head there also as the cage was going down to crush Swerve's head. And then they were both holding each other in the spot, so both of their heads would get crushed.
Yeah.
Before Nana ran over and pushed him in the ring. This is before the ring bell even rang.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, wow. And this like it only escalated from here.
God did
Like
it.
it only escalated from here. I'm gonna say the real winner of the match is the cement block.
Uh,
Oof. There's one point where okay, like the first time the cinder block got brought out, um, Swerve did the crypt. I always know the move as the Kryptonite Crush because that's what Shane Helms used to do.
mm-hmm.
But he does that, and the way Hangman lands, he hits the back, like the middle of his back, and it scraped all across his back. You can see where he hit the cinder block. Later on in the match, Swerve gets power bombed into the cinder block. These guys were trying to kill each other.
That cinder block did not break. Like it,
No,
it didn't even chip. Like nothing.
when Swerve got power bombed on it, he bounced off of it. Like he was like smack, and he like bounced off of it a little bit. It was like Jesus, and I was like, oh, like yeah, out loud, I was like, oh shit. That's how hard he hit that thing, man.
Mm.
They were throwing each other into the cage. At one point, Hangman put barbed wire around his arm, did his jump up clothesline, and clothesline Swerve with the barbed wire on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
They staple gunned each other.
Yeah, we got that. Was the staple gun was like within the first like 2 minutes of the bell
Yeah,
ringing.
yeah, man. Like they pulled out the staple gun, and Hangman at first was stapling Swerve. Swerve was laughing at him in true supervillain fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And he got the staple gun from Hangman. He beat him up, got the staple gun, and then he got a couple of pictures, and he started stapling pictures on the Hangman,
Of Swerve's
and then he ripped
family.
them out. Yeah, of his family, and then ripped them off of him. So it was making Hangman bleed everywhere. Swerve was taking out the staples at one point, and they were doing the "You sick fuck" chant.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, yeah, this match incredible.
You know what? Go ahead and talk about how it ended, and then we got to have a conversation.
Okay, how it ended. Swerve was it got to the point where Hangman finally was getting the best of Swerve. He was trying to get Swerve to beg for mercy. And you hear Nana in the background say, "No, you can't do that. No, you ain't going out like that. No. I'm right here. Don't even think about doing that." Swerve didn't do it. Swerve instead started laughing at him. And every time Hangman tried to hit him and hit him and hit him, it didn't, Swerve was still laughing.
Mm-hmm.
So he reached into Swerve's mouth, took out his grill, and then he went into, I think it was the pocket of his jacket,
I think so. Yeah.
and took out a needle. What was in the needle? I have no idea.
I I I have just accepted the fact that I believe Hangman drugged Swerve. That's what I'm putting out there. That's just what I'm doing.
That's what I think also, because because he got knocked out like immediately after.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman took the needle, opened Swerve's mouth, shoved it in his mouth, put the contents of the needle in his mouth, and left the needle there. Swerve eventually took the needle out, and at that time, Hangman was trying to get him to beg for mercy, and then wrapped the chair around his head. He hit him so hard with that chair, the chair like broke open, like It was over Swerve's head, and that was the end of the match.
Referee stoppage. Called it a knockout. Yep.
Now, here's one of the more interesting parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman, he won. He was victorious. But you see something on his face. Because he had to reach down to the depths in order to get that win. He had to become the bad guy. And he was, you know, in his mind, he was always doing the righteous thing. He was doing the right thing. So as he goes up to the ramp, and he goes to the top of the ramp, and he's looking out at, you know, Swerve, well, what he just did, the carnage that just happened, finally hits him of what he just did. And you see a little bit of remorse in Hangman's face.
Mm-hmm.
Almost to the point where he was trying to walk back to the ring. And then he stopped. He's like, you know, and then he, you know, did a little battle cry at the end. But that was real interesting. He's like, oh, shit, I had to do this? Am I this guy now? It was kind of like that back and forth, the, you know, duality of the situation that had just happened.
Mm-hmm. There's one more thing I want to mention before we really get into this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman came out of the heel tunnel when he came down. First time that Hangman has really ever done that. Right?
Yeah.
After the pay-per-view went off the air, someone put up a video of what Hangman was doing at the top of the ramp. After he did like the little battle cry scream where he like fell to his knees and was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He gets up and he starts walking, but he starts walking to the face tunnel, and he stops, and like he's like looking around, like he's contemplating, and he stays there for like a minute, it's just like looking around, and then he turns around and goes back to the heel tunnel.
Yeah.
Hangman is forever changed. Hangman is not the same man, and he won't be the same man ever again.
No. But neither will Swerve.
No. I mean, this is how Swerve's been. Swerve might be like a little hurt and stuff like that, but Swerve is going to come back and he's going to be the person that he was. Like, Swerve hasn't changed. Fundamentally, Hangman is a changed man, and it's because of Swerve.
Yeah. Yeah. And like it's been going, you know, and you see all the descents, like, you know, every time, you know, he changed a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. This is the match where he fully changed. He's not that guy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he does little things like that shows you that. So damn good.
It was just this is our second attempted murder of the night. Well, technically third. We'll talk about the other one a little bit later.
Technically third.
Swerve and Hangman went out there. They had a goddamn barn burner. They put everything out there. Every single match that they had is fantastic. And you already said it earlier, but I'm gonna reiterate. I gotta say it again.
Oh, go for it, man.
There are not a lot of wrestlers that get to have an all-time feud like this. Because this is an all-timer.
Oh, yeah.
This is probably one of the best feuds I've ever seen. Straight up. And the wild part about that, Hangman has two of those. He has the one with Kenny Omega and the Elite from 2021 when he won the world title. That was also like a couple years in the making. And now he has this.
Yeah.
Hangman is just on another level with this shit, bro. His character work, everything does in the ring. Like, he couldn't even do the buckshot, right? So he made a plan to figure out what to do because he couldn't hit the buckshot in this match because the cage was like so tight on the ring.
Yeah.
Like, Hangman is just incredible. And Who knows what's gonna happen next? Because now he's beaten Swerve. He finally did it. It took him a year, but he finally did it. Swerve probably ain't gonna be back for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
What's Hangman gonna do next now? Like, his whole motivation since last year was just beating this man, and he did it. What's he gonna do now?
I don't know, but I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it,
bro.
And I'm gonna mention another thing that I almost mention in every time I talk about Hangman.
Do it.
I gotta do it.
Mm-hmm.
I will not have any Hangman, like anybody talking trash about Hangman.
No.
No, like Hangman is like I said before, he is literally one of the best wrestlers. He's one of the best wrestlers in AEW. He's one of the best wrestlers, across like the federations or whatever, right? Like easily. I will not hear no Hangman slander.
No, not at all.
No Hangman slander, and I for damn sure will not hear no Swerve slander either.
Bro,
you can get the fuck out of here with that.
Bro, Swerve has had 3 incredible main event. Well, no, 3? Yeah, 3. Swerve and Ospreay, incredible.
Yeah.
At Forbidden Door. Everyone was saying, oh, they shouldn't do this. Incredible match. Swerve and Bryan Danielson. Incredible match. People were saying this one, they were like, oh, Danielson's not doing anything for this feud, blah 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 blah. Ended up being incredible match. Swerve carried that entire feud. And now we have this.
Yeah.
Swerve's body of work right now is becoming a very top tier body of work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's built himself from this. Like, he was not this 2 years ago.
No, not at all.
He grinded, he improved. Everything that Tony Khan wanted him to do, everything in AEW, he did it. He made sure that he did the best of his ability. He went in there, became a world champion, built himself up to be a world champion, and is now just, he is the franchise. He's the guy.
Yeah. Oh, man. Like, and we've said this every week, man, and I'll just reiterate this about AEW's top tier, top level right now. They're unmatched. There's not a company in North America that matches AEW. Shit, there's probably no company in Japan that matches AEW.
It's very hard to say that there is a roster of wrestlers anywhere on the planet that rivals AEW's roster of talent. It's impossible.
Yeah, men and women.
Yeah.
Everybody. Like, I'm talking about the whole roster. It isn't just one side, right?
Oh, we gonna talk about the other side too.
Oh yeah, because they showed out too.
Yes, they did.
Like, actually, like, if it wasn't for these 2 matches, my favorite match was, I'll just say it right now, was WIllow and Kris Stat.
Bro. You know what? I know we have an order.
No, we can go any order we want.
Yeah, let's after we're done talking about Swerve and Hangman, we gotta talk about Stat and WIllow, bro.
Let's knock out the 0 hour part first, and then we can go in straight to WIllow.
All right. All right. Let's knock this out really quick. 0 hour was whatever. I'll go through it super quick because there's only one thing that really mattered to me personally. Yeah. The Acclaimed beat the Iron Savages. I mean, we knew that was going to happen. Iron Savage definitely should have won that. That would have been dope. We had a three-way trios match where the Undisputed Kingdom came out on top against Shane Taylor Promotions and the Beast Mortos and I forget what the other team was. It doesn't matter at this point. Whatever. Undisputed Kingdom won that match. Cool. Whatever. A hologram, Captain Collision, showed up on 0 hour, and he was with Dustin and Sammy against the Premier Athletes. Team Hologram won. Captain Collision won. Great. Cool. The main thing we want to talk about is Sky Blue came out. Once her music came out, I was like, oh, she's healed? That's crazy. She was not. She came on crutches. Well, I guess we can talk about that a little bit later. It doesn't really matter. Sky Blue came on crutches. Sky Blue was like, you're not gonna be in Chicago without me. Mariah May shows up. The asshole that she is.
Mm-hmm.
She is like, oh, I want to do my championship celebration, but I'm not going to do it in Chicago. So we're going to wait another week to see where she's going to do that. She kind of ran down Sky Blue, then kicked the crutch out of her hand and started beating the shit out of Sky Blue. Mariah May, full villain, full evil, going crazy on Sky Blue. And then my Queen Aminata came out there to save her girl, because Sky and Queen Aminata, best of friends. So I'm pretty sure eventually down the road, pretty soon, we're going to be seeing Queen Aminata and Mariah May as a rematch, because they wrestled before.
That's Dynamite.
Oh, it got announced officially?
Yeah, it's officially. That's on Dynamite.
Nice. That's going to be a good match.
Yep.
But yeah, you have any thoughts on anything 0 Hour before we move on, I guess?
I think the only thing I laughed about it because you said it, and then I saw it, and then I couldn't stop laughing at it. Hologram and Sammy Guevara do have the exact same body type.
It's uncanny. It's so weird.
And I can't unsee it now. It's like, wait, oh no. He's not Sammy Guevara, but it's Sammy Guevara in the match. That's what it looks like. He's like
a shade darker. Like, that's it, just a shade.
Just a shade.
Once I saw them standing together, I saw it on Collision. Or no, on Rampage. It was Rampage when they all wrestled together. And they were all standing next to each other, and it was Sammy and Hologram standing together. I was like, you son of a bitch. They have the exact same body type. I'm pretty sure if you take off Hologram's mask, he's gonna have Sammy's face. For sure. I'm pretty sure they're twins.
It's a Sammy clone. I couldn't unsee it, man. Like, I saw it, oh god.
It's crazy, right?
Say that. Now I can't unsee it.
It's crazy. I don't think we're ever gonna see them next to each other again. But the fact that they have the exact same body type, insane.
Yeah. Besides that, though, I am interested to see if, as hilarious as it sounds, the Beast Mortos gets brought into Shane Taylor Productions. Because he after that match, he was still hanging around with them and did promos with them. So
it's hilarious because I guess Lee Moriarty and I think it was Matt Taven, they can understand Beast, and Shane Taylor was like to Lee Moriarty, "You understand Beast?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, okay."
So good. So I'm interested to see where that goes. I think they're going to build that up in Ring of Honor, which I think is great. And yeah, just can't wait to see the match between Aminata and Mariah May on Dynamite. That's going to be a good match.
My queen. My queen. But we will move on from one queen to a pair of queens in what could easily be considered, if this is your match of the night, I don't blame you at all. Willow Nightingale versus Kris Statlander in a Chicago street fight.
Man, let me tell you, these girls went in. These women went in. They went in. Oh man, this match was so fucking good. Like, just like the other ones, like this match, Kris Statlander and and Willow Nightingale just beat the shit out of each other in this match with everything. What else could I say other than just going through the match? Like, they went through tables.
Mm-hmm.
I think at one point they hit. No, they didn't get hit with glass. I think if it was there, they probably would have.
They had thumbtacks. Kris Statlander tried to do like a scissor kick, missed Willow, and did a split on the thumbtacks.
Oof.
Ugh.
At one point, I think it was Kris Statlander. She ran and they were at the top of the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
She ran and speared Willow off the ramp through a table. If it wasn't glued down, they were hitting each other with it.
Bro, there were fucking light tubes in this match.
Yes.
Kris got hit in the head with a wrap thing of 3 light tubes.
Yes. She got the what's that guy's name? I always forget his name. Mr. MDK.
Oh, Nick Gage.
Yeah, she got the Nick Gage special.
I was shocked. Like, the last time AEW had light tube, Nick Gage was there.
Yes.
Like, he fought Jericho. Like, that was like 2 years ago now.
Guy was probably backstage. He's like, okay, this is how you use the light tubes.
make sure you swing directly. Don't do what I did. Don't try to almost get killed. Don't let him go in your neck. Nothing.
Shit, man. Like, yeah, Stat got, busted open. Which I was surprised. I was like, oh shit. She actually got busted open. Cool. Yeah, man, like I'm just gonna say this. Like, I am glad AEW is here.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other place won't ever do this because they're like, oh, women are allowed to bleed and they're not allowed to hit each other with stuff. AEW is like, oh, fuck that, go ahead.
Look, we said it about Hangman and Swerve. Well, I don't know if we said it, but it was implied. Blood feud. Yeah. Those two do not like each other at all.
Yeah.
Willow was out the exact same way. Like, Willow came out, she wasn't smiling at all, really. She was like trying to, but she wasn't smiling. Willow always smiles.
Nah, man. When she was coming down the ramp, she didn't even try to smile. She was serious. She was ready. She was ready to fuck somebody up.
This was a blood feud. This deserves to be a blood feud. Like, they can't just have a wrestling match after what happened between them.
No, not at all. And man, was it was damn good. Damn good. Like, I can't say if there's one match on the card you should watch, this one. You should just watch the whole card because it's all amazing. Mm-hmm. But if you had to pick a women's match on the card to watch this one. For sure, watch this one. This is like, in my opinion, like, if the Danielson, no, not the Danielson, if the Swerve and Adam Page match didn't happen, this would have been my match of the night. I like the Danielson Jack Perry match, but I like this one just that much more. Like, yeah, but if it wasn't for the Hangman and fucking Swerve doing their match, this would be my match of the night.
I mean, understandable. This match was fantastic.
Yeah, like, there's nothing I can point to that's like, oh, no, it was all good. It was all good. Everybody, like, Kris Statlander and Willow showed out. And what's a crazy thing is, like, I think where they were, didn't they go on right after Pac and Ospreay?
Oh, they did. They did.
They went out after Pac and Ospreay and still tore the house down.
In fact,
think about it.
Pac and Ospreay, that match, we will actually probably talk about that one next. But that Will Ospreay and Pac went crazy.
Yes. And I'm saying this match was better than that one.
Look, I don't blame you for thinking that. Honestly, like if anyone were to say the matches that we already went through, if you say Danielson and Jack Perry is your match of the night, I don't blame you. If you say Hangman and Swerve is your match tonight, I don't blame you. Willow and Stat, I don't blame you. Ospreay, Pac, I don't blame you. Like, those 4 matches, like, and we still have 4 more. We're going to be talking about some more. But those 4 matches were probably, like, some of the best matches of the year in AEW. And damn near, you can call those some of the best matches in wrestling this year. Like, those are 4 match of the year contenders.
Yeah, they're all on the same card.
Yes.
And there's a few more on this card that are at that level too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, like, I know I didn't go through much of the match and just went through some of the highlights. I implore you, just go and find a way to watch the match. Because it's just that much better than me rambling and talking about it. Talking about how the match went and giving you the play-by-play. But yeah, man, like, it at the very end though, Kris Statlander did pull it out. She did pull out the win.
Mm-hmm.
And you could kind of see a little bit like Willow was kind of crushed by it. But out of all the matches, Kris Statlander finally got the win.
Mm-hmm.
And this is literally the end of their feud. So I can't wait to see where both of these guys go.
I feel like this one's gonna be like kind of like Hangman and Swerve. Like, they're gonna go away for a little bit, away from this, and no matter what, Willow or Kris should be the next AEW Women's Champion. One of them needs to be the next champion. One of them needs to beat Mariah May. There's been like conversation about which one. Personally, I don't care which one. I think either one would make a fantastic women's champion, and I think they both deserve it. Those two are next.
So I think here's where I think it's going to go. I feel like because Kris Statlander is specifically mentioning now, she never got her shot back at the TBS Championship. I think is Kris Statlander is going back and trying to get her TBS title back. Because she technically is one of those cases. She never lost.
Yeah, and she was talking about it. You're right.
Yep. She was talking about it the lead up to this match. So, and the main thing she was pissed about, Willow didn't even think about giving her a rematch.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the champion. So, I think she's going after she might be going after Mercedes next. And I think Willow is going to start going towards that the world championship.
Willow's gonna have to get a couple wins on her belt now, right? For sure.
Yeah.
Build herself back up. But yeah, I can see that. As much as as much as I would prefer those two being in the world title scene, it does make sense for them to be separated right now. Like, give them a little bit of time and then circle back at some point.
Yeah. I feel like they will circle at some point. They will circle back. But I think they're going to break off at the right time before everything gets stale and stuff like that. Like, they're going to break off, do their thing, get whichever title, and then come back, and it's going to come to a head again.
I can't wait to see what happens up with them. I'm very excited to see where they both go.
Yeah, same here. Like, we've mentioned on the channel dozens of times already, Willow's one of our favorites. One of our other favorites is also Kris Statlander.
Mm-hmm.
She's excellent too. And yeah, I'm glad these ladies just showed out. They did their thing. They this was a damn good match.
All right. It's time to move on. There's another we gotta talk about. We're kind of shaking up the order a little bit more. We got to talk about that international championship match, man. We're on a really big roll of really good matches. We gotta talk about that one next.
Yeah, let's talk about it, man. Like, it's one of those ones again where I can't speak into words the shit that happened in this match.
I got something to say about this.
Oh yeah, go ahead, man. You go first. Go for it.
Pac has been on. First off, they took your storyline for this because they kept on saying, "Don't forget about Pac. Don't forget about the bastard." Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They took your shit for this. Once Pac went out there and attacked Ospreay with that poison Rana, which is still insane. They really went, "Don't forget about Pac." What they never said what about Pac, but don't forget about Pac. They took your shit.
They took it, man. It's fine. Somebody will finally give me a little credit. Shout me out at some time.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen eventually, I think.
They can mention, they got a little thing from off the top rope. One day they'll mention it.
Next up, I'll say, Pac. This motherfucker, man. He'll come out randomly. This is probably the most extended time we've had with Pac in AEW. Pac has been around now for a little while. If this is the longest it's been pretty close. This motherfucker can come out of the woodwork, have a match of the year contender, and he'll just go fuck off somewhere after that. Like, he'll do it. He'll come out here, have a banger match with Ospreay, make the crowd go insane, and then he'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna go do something else. He was on the card again. He was out there with the new Combat Club, or whatever they're gonna be called. So they're all working together. We'll see what happens with that. But Pac, incredible talent. You definitely knew he wasn't gonna win this match for sure, right? Like, it wasn't gonna happen. But this match was just incredible. And what else do we have to say about Will Ospreay at this point? Like, what else is there to say about Will Ospreay?
What else is there that we haven't said?
Exactly.
Other than he is the best wrestler in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Not Pepsi Man over there. He is Ospreay is legit the best wrestler in the world. And really nobody can touch him. The match I want to see now is him and Kenny doing the run back in an AEW ring, like an actual. Both of them are now in AEW. We need to see that match.
Listen,
for the international title.
Listen, if this is what the international scene is going to be, if this is what it's going to be, if it's going to be people who have been considered the best wrestler on the planet wrestling each other, I'm all for it. If this is what we're doing, because look, I don't know if people consider MJF the best wrestler in the world. I don't think they ever have. I personally don't. But damn good wrestler. Had a damn good match with Ospreay. Fantastic wrestler. We'll talk about him a little bit later, actually. Pac. Jesus Christ, Pac. If he was ever considered the best wrestler in the world, fucking, he made a case. He's in that elite tier.
Yeah.
He's
always been there.
Yep. he showed out. He showed out again. Why now? If this is what this is gonna be, if Kenny comes back and he wants the international championship, bro, this is basically like, I don't even know what to call this. Like, this is equivalent to New Japan's Intercontinental Championship, because this is what was happening back then in like 2014, 2015, 2016, around time Shinsuke Nakamura had it. Like, people like Hiroshi Tanahashi were wrestling for it. Kenny, before he became Kenny, was wrestling for it. Like, a lot of the best wrestlers in the world were wrestling for that IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
Mm-hmm.
If this is what this is going to be, AEW has placed a very good champion to establish this.
Yes. Yes.
Because we before we even talk about the match, fucking Ricochet was in the back watching.
Oh yeah.
And there was a segment where Ospreay was back there. He was talking. He was happy about his win. Ricochet shows up, and they kind of get into it back and forth. And Ospreay's like, "Yo, fucking, you can sit back here, collect a check, go out here and fucking wrestle." And I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
And I was like,
"Go out here and start some wins."
And I was like, "Bro, he's been here. He's been here for like 2 weeks. Like he had a really good match against Kyle Fletcher. He just didn't wrestle for Dynamite, but he's been around. But the point still remains. We're building up to that Ospreay Ricochet match.
Yes.
But this match, Ospreay and Pac. Man, we've done a good job not breaking down matches. I fully feel like you should just watch this pay-per-view if you haven't. Like, if you're here at this point and you're listening to this, sit down, find a way, watch the entire pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
But Ospreay and Pac went crazy. I don't even know what spots I want to call out at this point, because there were a lot of them and they were all real good.
They were all amazing. Like, yeah, like that's what I was saying earlier. I don't like with the last match too. Like, there's so much that happened in these matches. I can't break these down. I could tell you certain spots that happened, but I'm not going to break down the whole bell to bell because I would not do the match justice because they're so damn good. But I will tell you some things that happened.
Go for it. Go for it.
So, the apron, it was the main winner of this match. That being, Ospreay got poison runted on the apron, which is the hardest part of the ring. The side of the ring. I think Pac also German suplexed him on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because this all started. Ospreay tried to do a Os cutter, on the side of the ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Pac caught him. Pac looked up and caught him, and then just German suplexed him, and then did a poison run. It's like, what? What kind of crazy person does that? Well, Pac.
Pac, the bastard.
What bastard does this? Oh, yeah, the bastard. Oh man, this is one of the parts I wish I would have wrote down, which was like the ending sequence. But that ending sequence was nuts.
Yeah, it was.
Like, there was one point in time in the match, Ospreay was trying to do, I think he was trying to do a power bomb. And as he was doing the power bomb, he gets flipped over and Pac reversed it into a Hurricane Rana and pins him. What?
but then there's a kick out and then Ospreay has him up and then hits him with the Styles Clash.
Yes. The complete insanity. And it wasn't like, I think a lot of people probably thought they were going to be flying all over the place. No, not really. They did some, but they were in the business of trying to kill each other.
They started the match with after like a minute or so, they did I think Pac did one first. He did the Sky Twister press on Ospreay. And then Ospreay 30 seconds later is able to get Pac into a position where then Ospreay does the Sky Twister. Just that was within the first 5 minutes. That should have told us what kind of match we were in for.
Oh yeah, and it only escalated from there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the funny thing about this pay-per-view. It always only escalates. It only went up. There was no down.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man, like Pac, easily one of the best in the world. If people didn't know already, now you know. Will Ospreay, best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
These two collided and showed everybody. I think they put every company on notice, man. You can't fuck with AEW's bell to bell. You just can't. Especially when you got a whole roster full of these guys.
That's that's the part about this too, right? This pay-per-view, we probably should say at the top, but it's fine. This pay-per-view was literally all the heavy hitters.
Yes.
All of them. And there's still like a good 10, 15 that we're missing from here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I think you got what? You probably got the top 16, top 20 in this pay-per-view.
That sounds about right, yeah.
That's the complete insanity. That's how stacked this roster is. But back to Osprey and Pac. Like these guys just they one other thing can I say is these guys went to war. And eventually, Osprey came out with the win because he hit him with the what was it? First he hit him with the hidden blade. Then he hit him with he tried to pin Pac. Pac kicked out. Then he hit him with the he hits him with the Storm Zero. But before he hit him with the Storm Zero, he tried. Pac reversed, hit another Poison Rana. Well, it was either Poison Rana or German suplex, like the stalling one. And then tries to pin Osprey. Osprey kicks out. Osprey then hits the Storm Zero. Um, and then I think he tried to pin Pac at that point. Damn it, I gotta watch the match again. I think he tried to pin Pac at that point. Pac kicks out, and then he hits him with the hidden blade, and then Osprey wins.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there was like 4 or 5 moves I missed in between that.
Yeah, man. Like I said, if you call this one the match of your night, I don't blame you. Like these matches that we've already talked about at this point were all fantastic. Like they
Yes.
just but Pac and Osprey, man. Like you already knew that was gonna be great, and I feel like they exceeded expectations somehow.
Oh, by far. And expectations were high, and they exceeded them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I forgot to mention before they even locked up. Okay, that arena went fucking ape shit.
They literally got a standing ovation.
They got the holy shit chance. They were, the arena. If you were there in the arena, I wish we were there in the arena. But if we were there in the arena probably would have been shaking.
I I almost bought tickets, but I saw how much the plane tickets were because I would have bought the plane ticket like Friday night. Like
Yeah.
it was too much. I couldn't do it. I almost did, but I couldn't.
Man, like the arena would have. That's how. Okay, I compare it. I compare that first part where they didn't even lock up. They just stood there. The bell rang. They stood there. The crowd was going crazy. You know what that reminded me of?
Go ahead and say it.
Omega
Mm-hmm.
versus Danielson.
Grand Slam.
Yeah. It was that level of hype and how much the crowd was into that match before it even started. Right? Like, you don't. And it was real reaction, not no piped in shit. It was real. And you could feel it. Shit, it give you goosebumps watching it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that right there is why I love pro wrestling. Just matches like that and just like stuff like that happens like where people are genuinely into the match and are just roaring they're. really into it. But Pac, being the asshole that he is, went outside the ring and stopped him.
Bastard.
Which was an expert move.
No, it was an incredible match. Like you can't say enough good things about this match. It was crazy. And again, going back to it, the fact that Willow and Stat had to follow this up and also elevated the pay-per-view themselves also is just a testament to not only how good this match was, how good Willow and Stat was.
Yes. Like it is a testament how good those two are, and just again a testament to the AEW roster and how good they are.
But speaking of the roster, we gotta talk about a couple young bucks. Oh wait, no. The young bucks wrestled. I meant like younger wrestlers.
Yeah. The young bloods in there. Let's go.
The pay-per-view opened with a damn intense match between MJF and Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. And this set, let me tell you, this set the tone of the entire pay-per-view.
Yes, it did.
This set the stage. Like, every match had to be better. Like, if you were going to do a match, it had to be better than this one.
Mm-hmm.
This was like, it was the base, and the base was fucking fantastic. That match was also so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Those two had great chemistry. They went in there, and it was like out of all the matches, it was a little bit of the slower paced one, but for good reason. Because Danny Garcia, more of a mat technician guy, and MJF can literally do any type of wrestling. So they matched each other. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
You had something?
Oh yeah. Basically this match, Garcia and MJF. Well, MJF was talking big shit before this. MJF said, he just wanted to break Garcia's neck. All MJF wanted to do was win this match. Garcia was out here for fucking blood.
Yes, he was.
We didn't even get Garcia's entrance. MJF came out first. He did his little dumb pose, and Garcia jumped him.
Yeah.
And that was basically like the tone of the whole match. Like there were points where MJF was up, but MJF was really just trying to win the match. He wasn't really trying to do anything. There was a lot of loogies in this one.
Yeah. Wasn't a fan of that, but
yeah, no, they're kind of gross. Like the spit was on both their faces. It was like very visible, very disgusting. Also looked like I don't know if I can call spit musty, but their shit looked disgusting.
Yeah, no, they look like they smoked a pack of cigarettes before they.
Yeah, bro, it looked gross. Yeah. It just but either way, they were out there because they also hate each other. They were trying to break each other's necks. It ended up turning into Danny Garcia trying to break MJF's neck more, and MJF trying to just survive.
Yeah. And man, there was multiple points in the match where they were trying to do a move to each other, but their necks were so fucked up they couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was one point Danny Garcia was trying to pile drive MJF, and he was trying to lift him up, and he fucking hurt his neck, and then MJF started getting the best of him. And there was a point where MJF was trying to do the same, and Danny Garcia was kind of working on his back a little bit, and MJF's neck is also fucked up, so he was also trying, and he failed because he didn't have the strength to do it. It was match was so good, so damn good.
We can talk about the end real quick.
Yeah, so MJF comes out with the win.
Very surprising.
Yeah, but well, it was like he won the battle, but he didn't win the war, because after he pinned Daniel Garcia, and he was going up, he was like, yeah, I won and stuff like that. He was gonna, Danny Garcia got up, and they were both trying to, MJF was like, yeah, come on, shake my hand. We had a good match, And Danny Garcia was like, he already knew what was up. So he went out to shake MJF's hand. MJF was going to try to kick him in the nuts again. Danny Garcia caught it, started beating the shit out of MJF, threw him to the turnbuckle, and then did the pile driver off the middle rope, and taking out MJF and then leaving. And posing with the crowd and stuff like that. So also makes me think Danny Garcia is here to stay, because this ain't over.
It kind of felt like it. I do wish that Garcia would have won. I'm not gonna ding that. I think there are people who are kind of like dinging this match because Garcia didn't win. MJF is very protected at this point. MJF really doesn't lose a lot. I definitely think Garcia should have won this, but I don't think that takes away from this match at all.
No, not at all. Like, I think I've said it with the who was it, like Private Party, when I talked about them. I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Garcia is kind of in the same position as them. He can lose and it doesn't hurt him at all.
Yeah, the crowd loves him too much. Like, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. Like, he can lose this match to MJF, and then he can win like the next 20 and then become like the Continental Champion. Like, it doesn't matter. He can win or lose, and it won't affect him.
I would have liked to see that win, though. I'm not gonna lie, but like you said, he did get his comeuppance. He this is the third one that we're talking about, but it was the first case of attempted murder on All Out.
Yeah, it was the first case. Exhibit A. Yeah, like this was the first case, because if all those people didn't get in the ring, he would have pile drove him again.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But yeah, man, I can't say anything. I can't say anything like really bad about this match. It was good, and it set the tone for the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah, I saw what you put up there next.
Yeah, we're gonna we gotta talk about this one. We'll talk about we got 3 matches left in the card. We've kind of gone in the order of like what I don't want to say what we enjoyed the most, because I enjoyed the entire card, but it just feels like a lot of our conversation was like really put up for those first like 5 matches. These ones were very good matches, but there's some things that I kind of wish would have happened, which we can talk about. But the first one, we have to talk about that Continental Championship 4-way between champion Kazuchika Okada, the cult leader Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Konosuke Takeshita.
Man, so I don't have anything bad to say about this match.
Oh no, I don't like. I wish someone else would have won, but like I said, like with Garcia and MJF, it doesn't take away from my enjoyment of this match at all. I really enjoyed this match. They did a lot of really good things. I can break this one down super quick. Because there are a couple things that I really do want to talk about from this one. We got 2 very important face-offs, I believe. One more important than the other. I'll talk about the one least important first. Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy kind of faced off during the middle of the match. It actually got kind of funny because they both were doing like the Orange Cassidy thing where they were kind of hitting soft at first, and everyone was really excited, and then they started turning it up.
Yep,
that was fun. The Conglomeration is one of those groups that one, low key shouldn't really exist because it was just like a funny thing, but it works out really well. And 2, they're like a New Japan faction where they can fight each other and there's no like hardship or anything like that.
Yeah, there's no hard feelings. It's like, hey, we got to do the match. All right.
Yeah, the cult leader allows it. The cult leader's like, if we're in a match together, we're gonna fight, and no harm, no foul. It's fine, right?
Yeah.
The other face-off, which they teased a couple times before they actually went at each other. Okada and Takeshita.
Yes.
That at the very beginning of the match, Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy got knocked out of the ring. And then you heard that same kind of crowd swell, not as much, but the same kind of crowd swell that we got for Ospreay and Pac happened here.
Yep.
Takeshita was turned around looking at them on the outside. Okada was looking at Takeshita, and all you heard was like the rumble of the crowd. The crowd was going crazy. They faced off. They looked at each other in the eye, and before they can do anything, Orange Cassidy showed up, and that's the first time I ever heard Orange Cassidy get booed. They booed Orange Cassidy for getting in the way.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious. And one thing I noticed also, like I said, I'm not really going to fully break down the match, but one thing I noticed also is that the second time that Okada and Takeshita went back and forth, they didn't really do a lot. They traded a couple forearms, hit a couple shots, but that was really it.
On purpose.
Yeah, they barely touched in this match.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I think this match is pretty much a setup for them two.
Oh yeah. Because we can talk about the end. Okada won this one. I would have liked Takeshita to win this one, but I guess it would be better if Okada and Takeshita wrestle each other in the finals of the Continental Classic.
Yes.
Because we don't know. This is the first year where we actually have the Continental Championship when the Continental Classic is going to run. So we don't fully know the rules yet. We're getting close to the time where the C2 is going to be running. So we're going to figure out how this is going to work. But that should be the finals. Give us that in the finals at World's End.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen. Like, I'm glad. I'm glad Okada won. I'm glad, Takeshita didn't win it yet, because the money match is Okada versus Takeshita. That's the money match. Like, that's a main event anywhere. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Okada versus Takeshita is a main event. And I'm glad they're going to build up to that, because like right after this, Don Callis had a promo. Of course, it was only online.
Mm-hmm.
And their eyes are on the Continental title now. The Continental Championship. They're fully going in, and they want that fight against Okada again. So we're building to that now.
Continental Classic. World's End.
Also, this kind of solves something we talked about. I think it was around the not the steel cage, it's not called the steel cage, man. It was called the one was Team Swerve versus Team Elite.
Blood and Guts.
So when we did that episode talking about Blood and Guts, we were talking about how there wasn't, like, Okada didn't really have any feuds going on for the Continental Championship.
Mm-hmm.
We're finally getting one. We're finally going to get one. And, man, it's going to be the biggest one. Easy. This is the match everybody wants. Mm-hmm. This is a match everybody wanted for a while.
Yes. Since Okada showed up in AEW and signed that contract, day one, people were asking for Takeshita and Okada.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed too, that this one isn't really about the pay-per-view, but about Okada and the Continental Championship to begin with. Okada wrestled 3 times this week. He wrestled on Dynamite, he wrestled on Collision, and I guess Collision and Rampage technically, because that went over. And then he wrestled here. This is the most he's wrestled in AEW in the span of a week. 3 times?
Yeah, 3 times.
And one of those was a title match.
Mm-hmm.
They're ramping up. I think I think they were. I don't want to give them credit for this because I feel like they definitely could have done more with the Continental Championship to begin with. But I feel like the plan was to kind of put it in like the back burner a little bit to ramp up for the Continental Classic, because now he had the match with Claudio, right? That went to a time limit draw. So there's a whole thing between Claudio and Okada. Now we have the thing with Takeshita. We're moving. I do wish we would have got more before, but now it feels like it's Continental Classic season, which is so Okada's going to be more the focus now, I think.
Yeah, and as I think this is something we've said. I think it was before All In. All In, All Out are the end. It's like the end and the beginning, right? All In is the big, huge glamorous moment where it's like the WrestleMania type deal. I meant All In. Sorry, All Out is pretty much the end of like some blood feuds, but it's the beginning of the new season, because most of these, like a lot of these matches, are leading into new big stories, like new big storylines. So, yeah, man. I think you're right. Like the Continental, this is going to be it's Continental Classic season, and it's going to start building and going that way.
Which is, if this is the case for the Continental Championship, because this is the first year we had, if this is the case, I feel like that's fine. Because the AEW, which is funny, because this is a complaint that people have had, myself included, right? Like AEW sometimes has too many titles running around, right? They're doing a lot better balancing that. And if they put the Continental Championship in the background, they also kind of did with the Tag Team Championships. That one I don't agree with. Young Bucks definitely should have been wrestling more. Like, I'm not gonna argue that one against that one at all. They should have been wrestling more. They are now. Yeah. We're gonna talk about them soon, but whatever. If we're gonna do this, like we're gonna do this into seasons, and the last quarter of the year is just Continental Classic season, I'm super down with that because that makes sense. It's around the tournament, right?
Yeah.
And if this is how we're gonna do it, I fully understand that. Get like a championship, a Continental Championship like title defense like once a month. Let them do that, then ramp it up for the season. Cool.
Yeah, and it feels like that's what's happening. Like they're really ramping it up now. Because it feels like in between that is International Championship, right? Like, well, actually, you know what? No, International Championship is just like it's defended everywhere at any time. So
yeah,
it's the Road Championship. They go everywhere with it. So yeah.
So right now we're getting to a point where it feels like AEW is working really hard to define these titles a little bit more, and I think a lot of us didn't realize that before. And I do still think that there should have been like something different with AEW. Like I don't think they have to explicitly tell us they're doing this, right? But there should have been something to give us more of a like feel about that. But now that we're here, I think we all kind of understand where we are now. I'm here for this. If you have that many titles, you definitely can't have them all everywhere all the time, right? Like,
right.
The titles have to have a focus at certain times. The TBS and TNT championships, well, TBS is a little bit different because it's on like a superstar, but those championships are definitely like defended on TV. Make sure they can get some title matches here and there. International can happen anywhere, anytime, like you said. World Championship is normally main event. You build the story for that, whatever. Continental is really big in Q4 for the year. You have the World Tag Team Championships, which should be defended all the time, which I'm hoping we get more into that now because we've had a couple Young Bucks defenses now. We're getting to a point where all these belts now are starting to get defined or redefined, and this is what AEW has needed to do for a while.
Yeah, I think the main thing was it's like you couldn't really do a hard turn at a certain point.
That's true.
Like if they would have just like hard turned and then started doing all the championships like this, it would have muddled every championship, right? So, and so like and Plus, they were in a bunch of like different storylines and all this stuff. So, yeah, they kind of had to like roll it out pretty, a little like at a certain pace. But yeah, I'm also here for it once they, if this is where they're going, I'm all here for it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of those tag titles,
Yeah, speaking of the tag titles,
we got to talk about that tag title match. The Young Bucks as the champions were against what was then called the Blackpool Combat Club of Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta.
yeah, was for one, I'm just gonna say this: it was perfect placement for that match.
Mm-hmm.
Being the second match, because if it went anywhere on the card, it got cannibalized.
Yeah.
So being the second match, like it was good for it escalated a little bit more from what it didn't escalate a whole lot, but it escalated a little bit from the MJF Daniel Garcia match, right?
Mm-hmm.
It amped up a little bit. This match was good. There's one point I'm gonna call out in the match where Claudio, for like literally like a minute straight, is European uppercutting Matt and Nick Jackson in each corner, and he's like running full speed. The boy doesn't get tired, man.
That man has a damn gas tank.
Yeah. And what happens when they go fall out of the ring and go outside the ring? He does it again. He's just European uppercut, like running ones.
Mm-hmm.
And he was running around the whole outside of the ring, getting full speed and European uppercutting these guys. It was like, holy shit.
This is incredible.
But the Bucks did turn it up though, for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
This was Young Bucks. It was starting to look like the old Young Bucks. They were going in. They were doing like all their stuff, man. Like they were doing it, and it didn't look like they were missing no beats at all. They were crisp. They were clean. They were doing their thing. And of course, Wheeler Yuta got the shit beat out of him.
Of course.
Wheeler's always taking the pin. Wheeler Yuta and some guy, yep, Wheeler's taking it. But yeah, like the Bucks did win. They they pinned Wheeler Yuta, of course. But before that, Claudio did the giant swing for 20 rotations on I think it was Matt Jackson.
I think so.
So he spun him around in the giant swing for 20 rotations. I think it literally really fucked Matt Jackson up because he even after the end of the match he couldn't stand straight.
Well, they also had all those wishbones at the beginning of the match, especially to Matt. Matt got hit with like maybe 6 or 7 wishbones by himself.
Yeah.
So like he had that and the giant swing. Like there were points where even throughout the whole match, Matt was like holding his nuts, just kind of like because he was getting fucked up. And then he had he was on that roller coaster with Claudio near the end of the match.
He got spun so long. I was like, oh no.
And Claudio was going so goddamn fast.
Yeah. Because they're light, so he's like, shit, I could spin this guy forever.
Just kept going. Like what he did to Leo Rush. Poor Leo.
Oh no.
Leo got swung 3 different times.
Oh Jesus.
Ugh. But yeah, Young Bucks won that match. We already talked about what happened with Wheeler and Claudio later in the night. So it's probably for the best that they didn't win the tag titles.
Yeah. Oh man, this match was good though. It was a very solid match. Yeah, no real complaints. I'm glad to see the Bucks defend the title and like actually have a good tag match.
I'm hoping we see more of them soon. I hope, because they keep on saying all these like limited dates things, which is low key kind of annoying to me. Like, I get it, storyline, whatever. Little annoying. Y'all are the tag champions. Y'all have right now, what, 3 other teams chasing after you right now. Y'all gonna have to wrestle. You're gonna have to get rid of them limited dates. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see you on a Dynamite in a Collision.
You're getting Dynamite. It's either or.
Either or every week. But yeah, man. With that, we will talk about the last match that we will be talking about for the night.
Yeah, man.
The TBS Championship between champion Mercedes Mone and Hikaru Shida.
The Ace.
The CEO versus the Ace.
Or the CEO versus the Mad Dog of Shimano.
Yakuza vibes.
Yep.
We should get this out of the way now. We got to talk about the end of that match.
Okay, let's talk about it.
A little awkward. Like, I don't know what was happening. I guess I'll do a quick explanation. Shida's her finishing moves is the katana, which is a spinning knee. She basically like spins and hits her opponent with the knee, right? Shida does it once. It kind of clips Mercedes. It doesn't really hit her. Mercedes kind of falls over. Then Shida picks up Mercedes again, and then hits a katana. But this one, it like hits solid. Like, it looked like Mercedes got like rocked, like for real, right?
Yeah.
And then Mercedes goes down again. And then Shida picks her up again. And then does another katana. But this one was like the lightest one. Like, it didn't even look like it really connected, like, at all.
Well, you could, if you go back in the match, after she hit that, she clipped her with that second one, Mercedes says something to her when she's getting picked up for the third one. Which I think is probably why she didn't go, like, in on that one. She's probably like, fuck, you hit me hard on that one.
So after that, Shida pins Mercedes. Mercedes doesn't even really stay for a 1. She like kicks out immediately and then rolls out of the ring. I'm not really sure what's happening there. That was a little weird. Like, you got hit with 3 katanas. Something, at least like grabbed something, right? Mercedes goes for Shida's katana, or her what's that thing called? Kendo stick, thank you. Goes for the kendo stick. They kind of have a back and forth. Shida pulls it, hits Mercedes on the apron or the turnbuckle. They go in. After a little bit more stuff, Mercedes hits her finisher, the Mone Maker, and just gets the 1, 2, 3. Very, very weird end of the match. The rest of the match was fantastic. Really good match. It's just the ending was a little weird. I'm not sure what was happening.
I think okay. Seeing how the rest of the show played out, I think it was time.
Maybe.
I think they were running out of time. Like, which is why, like, yeah, I saw the same thing too, because like up to that point, they were like the pace was different, right? Like, it was like, it was like a pretty even pace throughout the whole match. And then like towards the end, it kind of went into fast forward. They were like hitting everything like really fast. And also, like, the other thing that happened towards the end of the match, which Mercedes took advantage of, so she, and eventually hit the moneymaker to win, was Hikaru Shida brought the kendo stick into the ring and was debating whether or not to hit her with it. And when she was doing all that debating on whether or not to hit her with it, she decided not to. She threw it outside the ring. And that's when Mercedes took advantage, and then the end of the match happened. She hit the moneymaker and then got the win. But I do think it was like they were kind of pressed for time towards the end.
You think they were just having too much fun in the ring wrestling each other, and then they're like, "Oh shit, it's time!" And like Aubrey was like, "Oh shit, it's time! I forgot!" And they all just kind of had to rush and figure something out.
Yeah, Aubrey got too invested in the match. She forgot
because they were wrestling. They were having a really good match.
Yeah.
And this is one where I'm not gonna let that weird ending ruin it. The match was fantastic up until the katanas.
Yeah, I do think Shida clipped her with the katana.
That second one did look like Mercedes' head like went back. It looked like she like got rocked.
Yeah, which is why like the third one is probably why she didn't go as hard on the third one, because that second one she rocked her.
Mm-hmm.
Like she hit her hard, dude.
But either way, the match actually ended up being really, really good. Mercedes did kind of like sprint out pretty quickly near the end also. So like something was going on. But Mercedes kind of celebrated for like a second and then dipped.
Yeah, that's also what makes me think it was time. Right? Like, because normally she would have probably stayed in there for a little bit longer,
Mm-hmm.
after winning. But like the way they like exited too, it was kind of like, oh shit, we gotta go.
Yeah, more than likely. Like I'm not gonna let that take away. Like the ending of the match was a little weird. I'm not gonna let that take that away from how good that match was. That match was really good.
Oh yeah, no, the match was excellent. Like the match was great. Like there was nothing wrong with that match.
But I gotta sit here and I gotta say it, and I gotta be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Mercedes' best match in AEW is still Willow. In AEW specifically is Willow.
Yeah, it'd be Willow. Then it's Shida.
Yeah, I actually like the first Shida match a little bit more than I like this one. This one's still really good, but I prefer the Dynamite one over this one.
I prefer this one over the Dynamite one.
Ooh, okay.
There's very specific reason I prefer this one over the Dynamite one.
Oh, why?
There's a very certain person that comes in and ruins the whole fucking thing.
Yeah. Which Tony Khan got asked about her at the end. We shit on her enough. I'm not here to shit on her anymore.
That's why I'm not even mentioning it. But
yeah,
for me, that match the match on Dynamite was awesome
until that point,
and then it just ruined the whole match. I'm like, gross.
Tony did get asked about her, and he definitely dodged that question real hard. Like there was Tony Khan said a lot, and I know you've heard a lot of those press scrums.
Mm-hmm.
No real from Tony Khan when he answers his questions. Usually he just kind of goes, answers, and says what he's gonna say. He did not do that with the Brit question.
No, smart move, Tony. Smart move. Dodge that shit.
Look, I'm not gonna make this a Brit thing. We don't have to talk about her anymore after this. We'll go back to Shida and Mercedes, but something's going on.
Yep.
It's official now. Something is going on.
Yeah, something's up. But that's neither here nor there for this wonderful card called All Out.
Mm-hmm.
Shida and Mercedes did a damn good job. I do think. All right. Here's my one gripe about the whole match. I think I've said it a few weeks ago. The Money Maker.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not good. Like it looks cool when it's done right, but you gotta. There's too many moving parts on it to make it look good. Like I don't know, but like every time she's like hit that and if she's not in sync, it just looks like garbage when it happens.
I feel like I've seen two really good ones, I think.
Right.
One was Momo. Momo sold that shit pretty well. Probably the reason why they talk about that Momo match so much. Like, another one was Kyrie. The second time that she got hit with it, that one kind of hit really well.
Mm-hmm.
Willow took it pretty well, but Willow's like a little bit bigger, so it's easier. It's probably easier to figure that out, you know. But yeah, there aren't a lot of people who have made that move look super impactful. You're right.
Yeah, like I don't know. It goes with there was a thing I think I watched a long time ago. Steve Austin one. It was like an interview with Steve Austin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the people were like, "Oh, why did you settle for the Stone Cold Stunner instead of like move this like a pile driver or DDT or something?" It's like I can hit the Stone Cold Stunner on anyone. I can hit it on the Big Show. A lot of those moves you can't hit on the Big Show.
That's true. Big man.
Yeah. So like, it's fine until you start getting people bigger than you. Like, am I going to do a Jay Driller to the Big Show? No, I can't lift that guy.
Nope.
So, and that pretty much like, with this case, right? Say you got somebody that is, like Megan Bain or something like that, or just like Willow or Megan Bain, or eventually later on like Camille, or it's going to be a hard sell for those moves, for that move. Which is why, like before, her stuff was better, like with the bank statement, and she did the submission after that.
Oh yeah, the her like doing like the double knees in the back and then flipping them over into the bank statement. That one, right?
Yeah, that one. Like that worked because it's like, okay, well, she's using their momentum to flip over, right? Or she could just hit the submission because it doesn't require somebody to be lifted up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my only gripe. My only gripe is the Mone maker, because it's just the move. It looks cool. I'm not gonna lie, the moves look fucking cool as hell. But it takes you coordinating with the other person and the other person coordinating enough to where once they hit the ground and flip over, they have to hit the ground. They have to flip over. Then she gets to pin them, right? Or she can roll them over and pin them.
Mm-hmm.
But the part of getting them on her back and then lifting them up and then tossing them around, flipping them around, and then doing the DDT part, that's what the getting on the back and flipping around DDT part is kind of what makes it weird.
You know who would be a really good person to talk to this? Granted, we don't wrestle, right? We've never like professionally wrestled, so we don't know what the solution is for this. But right. you know who she should talk to?
Who?
Christian.
Yes.
That kill switch is not an easy thing to hit. It's the kill switch is such a unprettier kill switch, whatever you want to call it. It's such a really weird and specific move that takes so much to set up. But granted, at the end it's just a drop, so it's not crazy. But there's still like some setup involved. You have to be in the right place. You have to make sure everything's right. So if you want to make the Mone maker work, and if you want it to be like impactful as a finisher, because Shida, like it's not right now. It's just not impactful, right?
Right.
Talk to Christian. Christian Cage in the locker room in AEW would probably have a very good suggestion on how to make this work and how you can make like the Mone maker a really good, or if you even want to turn it into like Victoria's Widow's Peak. I think that's what it was, because that's how it's set up. You do whatever. Yeah.
Just the same way. But again, she did run into the problem where if the person was like Awesome Kong, you're not going to lift Awesome Kong to do the Widow's Peak.
Yeah, that's true. But Victoria did have other things that she could do for that too, so.
Yeah, she had other. She switched out her move, right?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there definitely should be. Again, we're not wrestlers. We're not here saying that what should be done, because we don't fucking know, right? But
Yeah.
there should be something should probably change with the Mone Maker, because at this point, if only 3 people have taken it well, and you've been wrestling now for like 2 years, and you've had like a lot of good people under your belt, maybe 4, because I think there was Azumi in Stardom kind of took it pretty well, but that's really it, right? Something probably has to change with that move, more than likely.
Yeah, no, to kind of go to your point, it's not saying we're not trying to tell somebody how to fix it, right? It's more like this is the perception of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you see it happen, and you see all the moving parts of the move, and then when it gets hit, a lot of the times it does, it just doesn't look good. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like there has to be something to either change your move or find a compromise where you can hit that move consistently and it always looks good.
Mm-hmm. Like the rest of Mercedes' moveset is fantastic. Like she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, easy.
Drop the women's. She's one of the best wrestlers on the planet. She's really good at what she does. It's just the Mone Maker right now just does not really work.
Yeah.
But that's it. That was every match on the pay-per-view. Do you have any final thoughts on All Out 2024, the Murders Row edition?
World Star Edition. No. No, that's NXT. No.
Ooh.
It was good. Like, not good. It was fantastic. Literally the best pay-per-view of the year. And you're probably gonna go backwards and go to All In, and you're gonna hear me say that shit again. Well, I'm saying it right now. It's the best pay-per-view of the year. Of all companies, I don't care. And yeah, for sure. Like if you have one pay-per-view to watch and you want to see perfection from top to bottom, the best in-ring work of any company, watch an AEW pay-per-view, and specifically watch AEW All Out.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got, man. Like, just watch it. How about you, man?
This pay-per-view makes me really happy. Prophet, you and I have been watching AEW since literally day one. I don't know if you watched the first All In. I'm pretty sure you did. I'm pretty sure we talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
But we've basically been watching AEW since the beginning, right? This year feels like this year was built to make AEW remember who they are. This year feels like AEW 2021. AEW 2021 was a fantastic year. Probably one of the best years in AEW. We had 2022 happen. We had 2023 happen. There was a lot of stuff that was going on. We don't have to talk about it. It's been talked about to death at this point.
Yeah.
But with All Out specifically, it feels like AEW refound their identity. And it just took 3 people dying on screen to happen. And then WIllow almost dying. But hey, AEW is the alternative for a reason, right? This was I said earlier top 5. I think this is my favorite AEW pay-per-view of all time. Like, I think the only ones that I can think of that rival this are Revolution 2021 with the Bucks versus Hangman and Omega, and maybe Revolution with Sting and Darby versus the Young Bucks this year. Was it this year? Yeah, that was this year. Like, those are... Jesus Christ, that was this year. Oh my God.
Like, since Revolution, this year, all of AEW's pay-per-views have been hit. Like,
yeah.
They just... I don't know what it is. Mark Briscoe might have gave them the word of the day. I don't know. But something like after that pay-per-view, it turned. and it just ramped up from then, and it carried over to every pay-per-view after that, all in and all out.
Yeah, yeah. It's this has been a great year for AEW. AEW's really found themselves again. I now have no doubt that the rest of this year is going to be big, and they're going to take this to a world tour. But this pay-per-view is easily a top 3 pay-per-view in AEW. If you, like Prophet said, if you're going to buy one pay-per-view this year, this is the one. Buy it, sit down, enjoy it. Feel uncomfortable if you want to, whatever. But this pay-per-view was fantastic, and this was one of the pay-per-views that makes me happy that I am still a wrestling fan. It was just fantastic. That's all I got, really.
Yeah, I'll second that last part. Like, this pay-per-view, like, easily made me remember why I love pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
By far, like it has everything in it that you could want. It, like, shit. I was just watching it and I was like, damn, this is amazing throughout the whole time. Like, there is no other company out there right now. I'll just say there's no company out there right now, bell to bell, that could match AEW. I've tweeted this. This is the second time I've said it. There's no company that can match them, and American company or worldwide. No, not at all. And I think they're leading into their new, their new TV deal, firing off on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm. Tony, the press conference after was not long. There were no other wrestlers on it. It was just Tony answering questions. And someone smartly, this was actually a really good press conference. They had a lot, well, not a lot. They had a few really good questions in here. One of the questions was, where do you see what is the percentage of the likelihood that we get an announcement this month or like the next 30 days? And Tony said 90%. So we are on the cusp of seeing what this TV deal really is.
Yeah. And some stuff came out. It sounded like it's multiple TV deals.
What they had, AEW Shockwave was copywritten.
Not only that, it was just that it's not just WB, it's them and somebody else.
We about to see how this goes.
Yeah, we're gonna see how it goes.
But that's really it. You did it before. I will do it now. I think it just makes it fair for you, so you don't have to do it both times. Oh, go ahead.
I'll do it.
You know what?
Care.
Go for it.
Shit, they're gonna hear my voice twice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Once again, thank you for watching. You got this far. Thank you very much. And again, I want to ask you, don't make me beg. Come on. If you like what you saw or you like what you listened to, hit that like button. Drop that elbow on the like button off the top rope. Comment, because, hey, whenever you comment, we read them and we'll bring them up here. And for sure, subscribe. Because subscribing, it helps us out and it lets us know that you like our content. Well, like our content enough to subscribe and hear us talk some shit for, 2 hours. So, thank you very much. And we're out.
Peace.